Deion Sanders hires Miss Tyler Johnson as the new assistant operation manager for the Colorado Buffaloes. But before we get off into this video, you come across the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got your post notifications on so you'll know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And if it's your first time on the platform and you're new to my channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, post your comments, share the video out. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Well, Deion Sanders, man, has always done the unthinkable. Now what Deion Sanders has done, he has hired an African-American woman to his coaching staff. But before we get off into it, this video is sponsored by
SeatGeek, the official sponsor of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the #1 rated ticketing app, over 28 million downloads, 70,000 plus events from concerts to sports, all your tickets across the web, all in one place, rated 1 to 10. Green means good, red means bad, and all your tickets are backed by your buyer's guarantee. And remember, use my promo code SimplyBallDropping at checkout to get $20 off your purchase.
And just know when you use Simply Ball Dropping's promo code at checkout, you're getting yourself a good deal and you're also supporting the channel. Well, let's get right off into it. You know, Deion Sanders is not shy in what he does. Deion Sanders always does the unthinkable. Deion Sanders recently has been in the news. The coaching staff that he has brought in, you know, he's replaced their offensive coordinator, Sean Lewis, replaced him with Pat Shurmur. That happened during the course of the season where Sean Lewis was demoted, Pat Shurmur was promoted. And what did Sean Lewis do at the end of the season? He left to take on a head coaching job at Arizona State. Then also Charles Kelly, the defensive coordinator, left, and Deion had a decision on hiring a new defensive coordinator. So what he did on the offensive side of the ball, he replaced Sean Lewis with Pat Shurmur. On the defensive side of the ball, just in recent days, he announced his new defensive coordinator to replace Charles Kelly with Robert Livingston, a football mind that came out of the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals organization, so he brought him on board. Also, during the recruiting process and when the transfer portal was hot and blazing and these commits, what did he do? He went and got Sean Respert out of Florida. And what Sean Respert has done, he has got people from the Sunshine State, Deion's hometown, to commit to the program. Now we getting word that Deion has made an announcement that he has hired Miss Tyler Johnson out of the University of Texas to assist Sean Respert in the recruiting aspect of the Colorado Buffaloes. Now, Miss Tyler Johnson, she's not no stranger to, you know, the football scene. She's been in the football scene for a couple years now. She started off at Jacksonville State. She was the director of on-campus recruiting. What she did was bringing players in, talent evaluation to make sure everybody was on the up and up, because every good program has to have some good recruiting. And Miss Tyler Johnson was doing that for Jacksonville State. And what, you know, Miss Johnson was doing got her recognition to get to one of these big name programs, and that was the University of Texas. Now, when she went down, you know, took the job at the University of Texas, she was with Texas for 1 year. But in her 1 year with her recruiting efforts, you know, Texas took a noticeable step forward under Miss Tyler Johnson. You know, when it comes to, you know, maintaining a successful college football program, your ability to recruit can make or break you. And that's what Miss Johnson did. She helped the Texas Longhorns bring in some stellar guys and some mainstays for that program. Now, like I said, she's no stranger to the gridiron. She did a great job at Texas, and that's why I think Deion Sanders reached out to her to bring her on board. So when it comes to that, the best teams deal with roster turnovers due to several reasons. But in this situation, she did 1 year at Texas, and then this Wednesday, she announced that she was leaving. So what did she do? She left the program, and Deion Sanders has brought her on board as the assistant operations manager next to Sean Respert to get their recruiting things in order. And, Sean Respert been doing a great job. Sean Respert been recruiting these guys. Like I said, he's recruiting these guys such as Angel Lopez that came from the Sunshine State down there in Florida, Deion Sanders' hometown. But this announcement came yesterday that he has now hired Miss Tyler Johnson out of the University of Texas. Now, University of Texas, man, they have to replace this young lady because recruiting is a major step and a major part of bringing guys in. Miss Johnson, like I said, she's no stranger. She's done her due diligence. Deion Sanders has looked to her and brought her onto his coaching staff, rewarding her with a contract, and it's going to be something special to pair her up with Sean Respert. You know what Coach Riz is doing. Coach Riz is getting these guys in on the recruiting trail. He's and Colorado is still working, man. They are in the works of flipping some of these recruits. Man, they got a 5-star, linebacker that they're trying to flip, a 4-star cornerback that they're trying to flip. And, all eyes are on Colorado and Deion Sanders' program. We did a show based on where FanDuel had them, rated this year on how many wins that they was going to have. They didn't predict them to do well, predict them to 4 to 5 wins, the over and the under. But like I stated, I think Colorado should at least win 8 games this year. But what Deion Sanders is doing with that coaching staff, man, he's doing a hell of a job. Now, he's putting all the pieces in the right place. And like I said, with the guys that they brought in through the recruiting class and all through the transfer portal and all the commits, they look good on paper. They just got to go out there and perform. Now, we haven't got the official announcement on Warren Sapp just yet, but there's rumblings in the street that Warren Sapp can potentially be the defensive line coach. Now, you got one of the mainstays from the Minnesota Vikings and Phil Ledho. He's the offensive line coach. So the pieces that Deion Sanders has put together with that coaching staff, he's done a remarkable job and things like that. Now, there's also reports that I want to address that there was reports, rumbling out there that last year's match between Colorado State and Colorado was kind of personal because of what Jay Norvell did in the pregame press conference, stating, taking a shot towards Deion and Deion's mother. It became personal. Now, you saw the docuseries on Amazon where we saw the midfield altercation after the game where Deion went up to Jay Norvell and said, yeah, you did take a shot at my mother. But there's reports out there now saying that if Jay Norvell and the Colorado State Buffaloes don't beat Colorado this year, that Jay Norvell could potentially lose his job. Now, their athletic director from Colorado State Rams has stepped down. So I don't know how true that is, but if there is reports out there that this game is going to make or break Jay Norvell, then Jay Norvell just got to bring it to the table, man. It got personal last year, and it's gonna be intensified this year. So we're gonna wait and see when that matchup happens to see what takes place. But as far as this new hire from Deion Sanders, it was a great hire that he went out there and got Miss Tyler Johnson. And Deion is always about uplifting and bringing people in to groom them up to, send them off to greater pastures. So at this particular time, Deion Sanders went out and got Miss Tyler Johnson from the University of Texas to help out with the recruiting and helping out with Sean Respert. So, like I said, in recruiting, you got to make sure everything's on the up and up. You got to do your due diligence. You got to do your background checks. You got to make sure these guys are ready and willing to commit to your program. And with Miss Tyler Johnson and Sean Respert, ahead of the job, I think it's going to work out well. So you guys, let me know what you think about this hire that Deion Sanders has hired Miss Tyler Johnson from the University of Texas. Post your comments below. Make sure you share the video out. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. This is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.